Hello, everyone. Excuse me. This is a sad story. Tiara Allen of New York faces several charges of murdering her boyfriend's infant child. Without further ado, I'll go ahead and do the banners. Matthew 18, verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Matthew 18:10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones: for I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. The Copyright Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Excuse me. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips developed in favor of fair use. All right, so now I will share one of the stories. Let's get going. She lived in New York. Uh-oh, that's got an ad there now. It says additional charges possible against woman accused of shaking baby who died. In the town of Fowler, New York, a governor could face additional charges after the death of a baby she's accused of shaking. That's according to St. Lawrence District Attorney Gary Pasqua, who says his office is investigating a number of different legal possibilities moving forward. State police arrested 25-year-old Tiara Allen on July the 13th on a felony count of reckless assault of a child and a misdemeanor count of endangering the welfare of a child. Troopers said Allen was caring for her boyfriend's 5-month-old child on July the 7th at their home on Sand Road in the town of Fowler. According to police, Allen became frustrated with the baby's crying and began to shake the child. The infant became unresponsive and was transported to Governor Hospital and then taken to upstate Galliano Children's Hospital in Syracuse. Police said the baby was diagnosed with anoxic brain injury and cerebral hematoma as a result of Allen's actions. Pascal said the infant died at the end of last week. Allen was arraigned in Fowler Town Court on July the 13th and sent to the county jail. Jail officials said she posted $10,000 bail the same day and was released. What were you allowed to do a bail? This was published August the 31st, so the baby was dead before, now it's November. That's why she had been arrested for that. I need to change the settings on here to where you will not be able to hear my voice, and I'd change the settings. I don't mind showing while I do the settings, so if anybody's got this program, a StreamYard, they'll be able to see. I change it here.
Well, obviously, if he wasn't so afraid of needles, I'd have him get one.
Because the flu is super hot right now.
Tattoos are super hot, you say?
What the?
A Governor woman could face additional charges after the death of a baby she's accused of shaking. State police arrested 25-year-old Tiara Allen in July on a felony count of reckless assault of a child. According to court documents, Allen is accused of shaking the infant in the town of Fowler, causing the boy to suffer severe brain injuries. He was initially taken to the Governor Hospital, later to Syracuse. St. Lawrence County District Attorney Gary Pasqua said the infant died last week. Pasqua says his office is investigating a number of different legal possibilities moving forward.
See a lot better. This woman makes bizarre statements after being indicted for infant's death during diaper change. On December the 5th, 2023, in a disturbing case in New York, a 25-year-old woman, Tiara Allen, has been indicted for allegedly causing fatal injuries to her boyfriend's baby during a diaper change. The incident occurred on July the 7th when Allen, reportedly frustrated with the infant's fussiness, violently shook him, leading to severe brain damage. The baby, who suffered a damaged blood vessel in his brain, passed away in August. Allen faces multiple charges, including murder for her actions that day. According to court documents, Allen attempted to calm the baby with a pacifier and a bottle before losing her temper. Allen, in her statement, admitted to her role causing the infant's injuries. Following her unsuccessful attempts to soothe him, she had allegedly changed his diaper roughly, pushing his legs up forcefully. She then realized the baby was limp and sought help, but to no avail. Allen expressed regret for not walking away from the situation, acknowledging the challenges of dealing with a fussy infant. A subsequent call to the home led to the discovery of blood flowing from the baby's nose, further intensifying Allen's fears and concern about the consequences of her actions. Allen has pleaded not guilty to the charges and is scheduled to appear in court on January the 8th. This case has drawn attention to the grave consequences of mishandling infants and the critical need for self-control and proper care in such situations. In a related incident, a Florida man, Charles Ivy, was charged with first-degree murder and arson in a separate case involving the death of an infant and the severe injury of the mother and two other children. Daytona Beach Police Chief Zachary Young remarked on the heinous nature of the crime, underscoring the tragic impact of such acts on families and communities. So now Tierra, so here is where this is at lawandcrime.com. Thanks to them. I should have walked away. Woman charged with murder after death of boyfriend's baby, who she allegedly admitted to treating roughly during diaper change. A grand jury in Lawrence County, New York, has indicted a woman for murder for allegedly violently shaking her boyfriend's infant son, who eventually died from his injuries. Cops arrested Tiara K. Allen, age 26, on July the 13th for reckless assault of a child and endangered the welfare of a child. In addition to those charges, she now faces murder in the second degree, manslaughter in the second degree, and assault in the first degree, records show. The baby Conway sustained a bilateral subdural hematoma on the brain, according to court documents. Here she is right here. Tiara Allen shook her boyfriend's baby, causing fatal injuries, police said. In a first-person statement attributed to Allen, who initialed and signed the page, she allegedly said she woke up around or before 7:30 a.m. July 13th. She warmed up breast milk for her boyfriend's baby in a bottle. I pulled his bassinet into our room and gave him the bottle, and both of us went to bed for a few more hours, documents said. We woke up about 9:30 a.m. Her own son was there too, although his age is not specified, which I saw that the in the Facebook post, and he was an infant in 2022, so he was pretty young himself. Allen allegedly said she pulled the bassinet out of the bedroom and put it in a toy box. Bassinet out of the bedroom and put it by a toy box. Sorry. She said she took Conway out and placed him on her bed, documents stated. Allen allegedly said she went to the bathroom and that Conway was fussy when she returned. I tried to settle him down and nothing was working. The statement read, I tried to give him his binky and bottle and nothing was working. I picked up Conway and took my anger out on him and I shouldn't have. I picked him up with both hands and shook Conway back and forth out of frustration and anger. She allegedly admitted that when she roughly changed his diaper, she forcefully pushed the baby's legs up to change him. Allen described herself as frustrated and angry, documents stated. According to her alleged statement, she said Conway became limp after she finished changing him. In documents, she described him as unconscious. She allegedly said she sought help from others, one of whom called 911. I thought maybe me holding him up and moving him back and forth could have done it, documents stated. A woman called the house and asked if there were any fluids coming out of the child. The statement said, Allen allegedly said a little blood came out of his left nostril. She told me to put him belly down on my arm and cradle his head to see if he was choking on anything. She allegedly wrote that wasn't working. Conway died in August. I believe I caused Conway's injuries, Allen said in the signed statement. I should have walked away from the situation and come back to him later, but it's hard when he is fussy. The court scheduled Allen for a hearing to take place on January the 8th, 2024, online records show. And this right here is for the Demonstrature to Superior Court, State of New York, County St. Lawrence, Honorable Timothy W. Knowlton, the people of the state of New York versus Tiara Allen. It's got the index number over here to the right that is written in. It's got the other numbers over here, Fowlertown Court. Indicted, the date transmitted, local court information dockets. It's female white. And its arrest date, the agency, Governor, New York. That's been blacked out for privacy. The following redacted is what people call it. The following are being forwarded to. Please check all that apply. Felony complaint, mandatory. Supporting deposition, mandatory. UCS 540 501 card. St. Lawrence County Court, bail papers, secured order, notice of appearance, DC, JS report. Submit this form along with originals of the appropriate papers as provided in CPL 180.71 to the address of the appropriate court. There was Fowler Town Court, which is in Governor, New York, and St. Lawrence County Court in Canton, New York. Until such time that these papers are received, this action is deemed uh, to be still pending in the local criminal court. Please notify this court an indictment has not been filed within 90 days or a request has not been made to return this case to the lower criminal court. There's her signature. Here is a signature. Looks like I can't read the writing right there. And then the title, court clerk. On October the 18th, 2023, the local court criminal disposition report, UCS 540 SCI, but it's Timothy Dalton, Fowler County Court. This is the different information here, the codes. This is where codes are further down. That is where Timothy Dalton, there's a signature began for the clerk of the court. Okay, and that's people that said, be it known by this felony complaint, Jennifer F. Terpstra, as a complainant herein, stationed at S.B. Canton, accuses the above mentioned defendant with having committed the felony of reckless assault child brain injury in the violation of Section 120.02, Subdivision 1 of the Penal Law of the State of New York, that on or about September the 7th, 2023, at about 9:30 a.m. in the town of Fowler, County of St. Lawrence, the defendants did intentionally, knowingly, and unlawfully commit the felony of reckless assault, cause serious brain injury, child, shake, impact head. A person is guilty of reckless assault of a child when being 18 years of age or more. Such person recklessly causes serious physical injury to the brain of a child less than 5 years old by shaking the child or by slamming or throwing the child so as to impact the child's head on a hard surface or object. 2. Purposes of the subdivision of, let's see. For purposes of subdivision 1 of this section, the following shall constitute serious physical injury. A serious physical injury as defined in subdivision 10 of section 10.00 of this chapter, or extreme rotational cranial acceleration and deceleration of one or more of the following: subdural hemorrhaging, intracranial hemorrhaging, or retinal hemorrhaging. Reckless assault of a child is a Class D felony. Yet they gave her bail. They let her get out. On said date and approximate time, said defendant being 25 years old caused serious physical injury in the form of a bilateral subdural hematoma of the victim's brain by shaking him. That's a fact. So they got it under the facts, see? The above allegations of fact are made by the complainant herein on direct knowledge and or upon information and belief, with the sources of complainant's information and the grounds for belief being the facts contained in the attached supporting deposition of Sarah Nishkami, Patrick Thompson, Kevin Thompson, and police investigation. In a written instrument, any person who knowingly makes a false statement with such person does not believe to be true has committed a crime under the laws of the state of New York, punishable as a Class A misdemeanor. Notice affirmed under penalty of perjury this 13th day of July, 2023. There's the sign for that signature. This is the court, the state of New York, the county of Lawrence, town of Fowler. It's an alleged victim. People of state of New York, Tiara versus Tiara Allen, October 26, 1997 is when she was born. Be it known that by this complaint, Jennifer F. Terpstra, as a complainant herein stationed at S.B. Canton, accuses the above mentioned defendant with having committed the misdemeanor of act and manner injury to a child in violation of Section 260.10, Subdivision 01 of the Penal Law of the State of New York, that on or about 7/7/2023 at about 9:30 a.m. in the town of Fowler, County of St. Lawrence, the defendant, a person, is guilty of endangering the welfare of a child when, number one, he or she knowingly acts in a manner likely to be injurious to the physical, mental, or moral welfare of a child less than 17 years old, or directs or authorizes such child to engage in an occupation involving a substantial risk of danger to his or her life or health. There's another fact. On said date and approximate time, said defendant, being 25 years old, caused serious physical injury in the form of bilateral subdural hematoma for the victim's brain by shaking him. The above allegations of fact are made by the complainant therein, like we had saw this earlier. This goes on further down. Here's the statement with the state of New York, County St. Lawrence, town of Fowler. I, Tiara K. Allen, age 25, born da 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 da, and reside in Governor, New York, have been advised by, and it's that investigator Jennifer F. Turchber of the New York State Police of the following. That's the Miranda rights, basically, right here. The right to remain silent. We're going down. There's her statement. Here is her written statement that they had typed up. I woke up around 7:30 a.m. or before and warmed up some breast milk for him in a bottle. I pulled his bassinet into our room and gave him the bottle, and both of us went to bed for a few more hours. We woke up at around 9 to 9:30. My son woke me up, and Conway was waking up too. I pulled the bassinet out of the bedroom outside of our door and put the bassinet by the toy box. I took Conway out of the bassinet and put him on my bed. I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, Conway was fussy. I tried to settle him down, and nothing was working. Makes me wonder if she had thrown him to the bed, instead of putting him on the bed. I wouldn't doubt it, 'cause she was already annoyed. I tried to give Miss Binky and bottle, and nothing was working. I picked up Conway and took my anger out on him, and I shouldn't have. I picked him up with both hands and shook Conway back and forth out of frustration and anger. I set him on the bed and changed his onesie to get him dressed for the day. I changed his diaper and onesie all at the same time. When I changed his diaper, he had pooped and it went up his back. I roughly changed Conway's diaper by grabbing his legs and forcefully pushed his legs up to change him. I was frustrated and angry during this time. After changing and putting the clean onesie on him, Conway became limp. After he was limp on the bed, I took Conway to Blank to see if he could help. Blank was lying, trying to help, and nothing worked. I then called Blank and told him about Conway being unconscious. Blank was on his way home, and I contacted 911. Blank asked me if he should call 911, and I said yes. I was scared. I was concerned about what happened. I thought maybe me holding him and moving him back and forth could have done it. What are you talking about back and forth? Shaking, woman. Shaking is different from moving back and forth. Get real. Get real. A woman called the house. I don't remember her name. She asked what was going on. She asked about fluids coming out of anywhere on Conway. I told her there was a little blood coming out of his left nostril. She told me to put him belly side down on my arm and cradle his head to see if he was choking or anything. That wasn't working. She then told me to put him safely on the floor on his back, and I did that. Blank showed up at this time. The police and then EMTs showed up at the house. Blank followed the EMTs to Governor Hospital, got my son ready, and then followed Blank to the hospital. I believed I caused Conway's injuries. I should have walked away from the situation and come back to him later, but it's hard when he is fussy. You wouldn't have done that to your own child. Why'd you do this to somebody else's? And she was engaged to this man that she killed his baby. I saw that on Facebook Live too. She was engaged. And there's a state of New York, dated September the 13th, 2023. In a written instrument, any person who knowingly makes a false statement, which such a person does not believe to be true, has committed a crime under the laws of the state of New York, punishable as a Class A misdemeanor, affirmed under perjury, penalty of perjury, the 13th day of July, 2023. There's her name. Um, and there is the investigator's signature there too. Hey there, good to see you too. How are you doing? I wanted to get this out about this lady that killed her boyfriend's infant child. It's horrendous. And I'll show you again. Excuse me. I'll show you the presenting her Facebook page and showing her other. See, this is her other child, Tiara Allen, governor of New York. It's engaged to Patrick Thompson. See, that's what I was telling y'all. She was engaged. This is her child. This is here, March the 19th. So he's pretty young. Another picture, January 17th. Oliver is actually absolutely precious. That smile so sweet. Grandma, look you and sending you many hugs. This is her child that's still alive, okay? No, another mother has to do without a child. All because of her hands. I hope she loses all right to this son as well. Hope and pray she doesn't deserve any children. I'm doing pretty good, thank you. It is sad. It's horrendous to know she's got another kid at home. The kids are a handful, but don't go and say that me moving them back and forth kind of probably is why she killed what did this to him. And then she goes and pleads. In another part I seen where she pled innocent. Isn't that crazy? See, there's another story right here. Adam was arrested Thursday. I cannot believe that they had let her out of jail in the first place. So she had another child. Like I said, uh, the date under the picture says 2022. And according to the Maloney um, telegram, Governor woman shook the baby caused the brain injuries. I'm going to see if it will let me share that page too. Troopers, governor, woman, shook baby, caused brain injuries. The state police say Governor The governor woman caused brain injuries to a 5-month-old child was shaking a baby because the infant was crying. He was only 5 months old, people. I don't have a subscription here, but we got a lot of the other stuff that was said there. Just 5 months old. That is horrible. She posted bail and she got out of jail. How was she allowed to post bail? Knowing the baby suffered a subdural hematoma. Why did they even allow that? That is what is so crazy. No matter how much she would say I'm sorry or something, it's not going to bring the child back. If she's that rough with her child, with that child, she really don't need her her child either. She don't need to be around any other kids. Accidentally knocked myself out of here. I'm sorry. um, please forgive me. But please remember this baby's family. I don't know where the mom is. I don't know what happened to her. But this lady, it was her boyfriend's infant son, 5-month old, did not deserve this. Yeah, babies get frustrated. Babies get cranky. Did you notice that she had said that she put him on the bed and then she tried to give him his bottle and the other stuff and he was too fussy? Maybe, I guess she was already mean to him before she even changed his diaper. He already had the damage because he had pooped himself, all it went off his back and stuff, remember? Blood coming out of his nose. Horrendous. It's horrible. Not good at all. Thank you so much, Jackie, for being here. Thank you for everyone that came to support. Say God bless y'all. Keep the word out. Just keep depending on children. You might be the only voice. Thank you and God bless.